2016 listed firm Flametree Group made an acquisition that opened the country to opportunities in the beauty industry, and that is the acquisition of Suzy Beauty, a Kenyan beauty brand producing a range of products targeting African women. Now, this highlighted just how lucrative Kenya's cosmetic industry is. Joining me in studio to understand the scope of the growing beauty industry, Suzy Wakabi, who is the force behind Suzy Beauty. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Yvonne.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks so much for having me.
So I know we started sort of at the end of this story with Flametree, but talk to us about the beginning. So you have this idea that you want to do, make makeup products. Why? What drives this? And then how did you begin?
Yeah. So I started working as a makeup artist in the US after college. In about 2001, have I just aged myself? And I found that there's actually a career path in that. If I studied international relations, so that was never the plan, right?
Yeah.
And then I just have a lot of passion for beauty, and I wanted to build myself as a fully grown professional makeup artist, which I spent a lot of years doing, and then came back home in 2010 after 10 years away to work as a media makeup artist. So and made a name for myself in the industry. I came with a good portfolio and a suitcase full of product that I could work with.
Yes.
And so we got a lot of good gigs quite fast because it was a very small industry at that time.
Yes.
Not many makeup artists. We were about like 4 professionals, and we'd all like share work with each other. It was very different, a very safe time.
Right.
About a year or so into it, come to find the gap in the retail cosmetic space, because what I was trying to replenish in my kit for working, I'm trying to look for product, locally, like where do I buy makeup? Where do people buy makeup? This pharmacy, that beauty shop. So what I was finding is everything was ridiculously overpriced. What I'm buying in the US for $20 was the equivalent of like 100 or more
here.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then also like everything was not, officially done. Like somebody just brings it in their suitcase. You don't know where it's coming from, how fake it is. So a big fat gap that I decided to try and fill. And so that was around 2009. Got quickly into going into the legalities, registering a business. I decided I wanted to create a brand. I mean, I could have gone the route of just calling a big manufacturer and I distribute their product.
Okay.
But I didn't want to, especially because of my background as a professional makeup artist. And I know what works for us, what doesn't. I've worked with so many different brands. So that's where Suzy Beauty was born. And
did you find that there was a gap in terms of the products that you were using tailor-made for the African skin? So one of the things, of course, was availability of the products and how you're going to get it into the country. But Suzy Beauty is tailored.
Yes,
for
so
African skin.
I personally design the product. And so I know, based on the other brands, the big international brands that I was working with, I know what's missing. Like I did a lot of like research and development. So, this brand can be amazing, but then this product just doesn't work for us. The number of people who had sat in my chair and I'm like, why is this? What is in this thing that, should
just
not be there?
Work,
So it was a year of research and development.
Okay, before you actually came out with the product.
Which was, the entire process was 3 years long.
Wow.
But like year 1 was mostly R&D research.
Okay, so talk to us about the range of products that you have now.
So I developed like 32 different product lines in the beginning.
Okay.
And I knew I couldn't launch with all of them. First of all, pioneer brand new to the market, first Kenyan one. So I had to come slowly. So I broke it down to what's vital. And I started off with just color cosmetics. So foundation, powder, concealer, eye makeup, lip makeup, cheek makeup, and brushes. And we stayed with those for a while. Our next product to introduce was just a matte lipstick instead of just a cream lipstick. And then years later, in 2018, we introduced 8 new products, which includes skincare.
Okay.
So right now we're at 19. Is that 18 or 19?
19
different product lines.
So that's from makeup, color cosmetics to skincare products.
Yeah. And then the accessories.
And
brushes.
Yes, the brushes as well. So talk to us then about how, after doing all of this, now there's the acquisition of it. Tell us, how that came about.
So in 2015, we reached sort of maximum capacity of our ability and capability, and we were looking for a very strategic partner. Got introduced to Harold Bangera, who's the MD of the Flame Tree Group, and he'd spent many years acquiring various brands into the group. Yeah. So he'd never had makeup. We were looking for someone to either invest or let's talk. Yeah. So he wanted an acquisition. We were even offering equity in the company. After a while of chatting, slowly and surely, because this is a big decision, so we finally signed out end of 2015, early 2016. Yeah.
What's that been like? Because I think when a lot of us heard about the acquisition, we thought, okay, you're now in the big leagues now. This is big business. This is so what was that moment of transition like? Yeah. From you, this is something you have built, and then now there is somebody coming in to say, oh, I like what's happening here. I like what I see.
Then let me take it.
Yes, yes.
So I say they acquired Suzy Beauty and they acquired Suzy Wakabi because they took me and my team along to run the brand. So I've been running it under the group for since then. So it's been 5 years.
4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Now. Okay.
And so I say my daily life is a lot easier for sure. Yeah. Because all the headaches and stresses of running a business, especially as a creative, I struggled with that through the years. Yeah. And now just having a stronger backbone behind me to help me run the business. And, they have their acumen that years more of experience than I did. Right. So I've been learning a lot.
So you're moving into this system, an operational system that works.
Yes, yes.
What were, for you, the challenges along the way that in terms of you would give, advice? We were speaking to some entrepreneurs across the country in just a few minutes. What were the challenges for you that maybe you see in others? Because after Suzy Beauty, then came so many other people who are making lipsticks or making hair care products, skincare, some who are making exclusively for the beard gang, as they call it, for men. What would you say, were the challenges that you went through that maybe you can advise others in the sector, other entrepreneurs? Well,
being an entrepreneur in any sector is an uphill battle on its own, right? Yeah. So just running the business as well as possible. Now I'm learning everything on the job. Yeah. So I did make a bunch of mistakes and fell flat on my face many times, but figuring out how to pick myself up off the ground and just keep going. And Tony said it right, patience and perseverance. For me, passion. Those are my 3 Ps. Yeah. I find that I don't know if it's the next generation, but they're jumping into it without honing skills and knowing or putting the work into it. And so that's why they say 95% of startups fail in their first year. Yeah. Because you saw Suzy or Rose or whoever doing great. You decided you can just because you've seen that and you don't love it. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah. So be passionate about it and do the research that is required. When it comes to the quality and consistency of the products, I think before Suzy Beauty, there was many people who would say, "Oh, I import so and so brand because it's the right quality, it stays matte or whatever." How do you think? What has been the evolution of Kenyan brands and Kenyan products over the international ones, since you began in 2008, 2009? So one of the things I was very clear about is that this is a brand that I am creating personally as one, a professional in the industry, and two, as an African woman, for us, the African woman. And so a tailor making it, using the right ingredients and the right textures, like my manufacturers have to know like humidity levels here, like climate changes and like all that to put the right ingredients in the right way, in the right formulas. So I was very clear about that. Like it had to be product that I've created.
Okay.
So we haven't finished answering your question.
Yeah. Consistency of the products.
Okay.
Yeah, and quality. Yes.
So what I found out quite quickly is that manufacturing locally would be very difficult because nobody was manufacturing makeup locally.
Okay.
There was hair care, there was skin care, there was
All right.
body care, but makeup itself, and then it's very particular, like with the color ranges, and even the textures and all that. So that's where I came in and sat with chemists and mixed the things to what I know is going to work. So even just I have a bit of a product development background, and then my makeup artistry background really helped with that. So yeah, and then figuring out how to get it into the market, where to market correctly.
Distribution.
Yeah, getting the right distributors, which was continuously a battle because you've signed on with this person thinking you've got it right, and then it doesn't work out.
Okay.
But there's still some distributors who we have since day one.
And I like what you said about, when you started, there was no one manufacturing makeup locally. So there wasn't that experience and expertise.
No.
At the time.
So exactly. So if I decided to manufacture here, because nobody had done it, I would have to import every single raw material, every single machine.
Yeah.
Create a factory.
Expertise and knowledge. Skills.
Import skill. Like, why reinvent the wheel? There's, like Tony said, a lot of contract manufacturers out there who will go according to your specifications as well.
Okay.
There's some that just do private label and you put your logo on their stuff, but there's also contract.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And we'll come back and talk about, whether there are plans to bring Susie Beauty home and, produce it locally and what that would take and what the plans are or were for that. We'll get to that in a moment, including your questions and your comments. Are you in this sector? So I'm on Instagram a lot, perhaps a lot more than I should be. But there are several products. Like there's just so many people who are coming up with this product line, that product line, putting your name behind it. So there's quite a bit of young people who are involved in this sector. So any questions you have for the pioneers that we have in the industry, wanting to learn from them, please do send them through. The hashtag is Business Now.